Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Hello, it's Shane Willis, Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Boy, we had a busy one. Had a couple of contracts written. I got a couple of new constructions under contract. We're working on those today. So somebody said that summer's coming to an end this upcoming weekend, with it being Labor Day. It doesn't feel like it in the real estate business, not for me anyways. Although the reports came out last week that home sales were down. It wasn't prices. We did talk about that. And if you like the Facebook page, I actually did a live video on it to show what was going on. If you haven't liked the Facebook page yet, get over there. It's facebook.com/Shane Willis, the realtor. All right, so today I'm going to talk about mortgage points, because what better way to discuss things on a Monday morning than to talk about mortgage points first thing on a Monday morning. So first of all, what are mortgage points and how do we use them? Well, here's basically what mortgage points are. They're basically prepaid interest. So let me just kind of go over the basics of it. And I've got a whole article from MSN that I'm going to put up in the show notes that really kind of detailed it out a lot. But in essence, you can pay, let's say it's a $100,000 loan, because I just want to use easy math. $100,000 loan. You can pay $1,000 for 1 point. That's considered 1 point. 1%. So a point's a percent. You pay 1 point, and you can knock off anywhere from 1/8 to 1/4% off your interest rate. Why would a buyer use that? Well, first of all, there could be a buyer that, hey, your debt to income ratio doesn't qualify you for the house at $2,000 a month, but you may qualify for the house at $1,900 a month. One way to do that would be A, to put more money down, or B would be to pay your interest down, or pay a point. Now, if you're not going to be in the house for a long time, let's say that point saves you $100 a month and costs you $4,000. Well, that means you need to be in that house for at least 4 years in order to make it work. Now, if it only saves you $40 a month, okay, now you need to be in that house 10 or 12 years for that to make it work. So it doesn't make sense. But, and a caveat in that whole thing, because this was one of the ways we negotiated a contract this weekend, that was a conventional loan. Conventional loans with this particular lender, let me put that caveat in there real quick. With this particular lender, this conventional loan for homeowners allows a seller to pay up to 6% of the purchase price and the buyer's closing cost. So I was able to negotiate with the seller to pay the full 6%. We had to offer them better pricing. So we had to give them a little bit better pricing. But we got a full 6%. We're using 2% of it to buy down the rate. We're buying it down 0.5 point with this particular lender, which is the max they would let us buy it down. But that put us in a debt to income ratio, no problem. So we were back under the credit criteria for the debt to income ratio, and the buyers are able to get the home. So that's one way to use mortgage points. And oh, guess what? The seller was paying for it, not you as a buyer. Now, a buyer may want to pay for it, seller may want to pay for it, but let's talk about the reverse, or what they call negative points. What does a negative point mean? Because it's funny, when I read this article, I knew this was going to be today's episode, because this was exactly what happened to me over the weekend. We had one to where we bought down points to bring the debt to income ratio back into order. The other one, we needed more closing costs. This particular loan would only allow 4% total, and we could not negotiate the full 4% with the seller. Instead, what we did was raise the interest rate 1/4 point. So instead of getting the best possible rate, they raised the interest rate 1/4 point, but the bank paid a full percentage of their closing costs. So that was able to get them in the house with less money down right now. It did raise their payment. In this particular case, it raised their payment like $38 a month. I see negative points used more often than actual buy downs. But I think that's starting to switch some because rates are rising. As we see rates getting into the fives and sixes, I think that's going to continue to just change because we're going to see people want to buy down the rate. And that's going to be necessary to keep the debt to income ratio in place. Right now, I've seen negative points used more often than positive points. Anyways, get over to the podcast show notes. I'm going to put a link in, I think I can put a link in iTunes. I'm not quite sure. Let's make sure I stick a link up in YouTube. It's shanewillis.com/podcasts. There's a plural there. Or if you just go to the main site, there's one of the tabs that says podcast. And you can find this episode. It just says mortgage points. Take a look at these notes. Read through this. Read through that MSN article that I'm just going to put up because these could very well be put to your benefit, both as a buyer and a seller. The seller needs to understand how to market these. The seller needs to understand what they're doing to help the buyer out and how, if a seller gets that, fine. I don't mind helping you out as far as closing costs. We just have to look at our bottom line as well. This is just a strategy that is used all the time, especially around here, because around here in our area, VA loans are big. We're a big veteran community, and VA loans allow up to 4% seller concessions. A lot of them try and get zero money down. That's fantastic. Zero money down, 100% financing, and you can get concessions. A seller just needs to understand that. So do the buyers. All right, that's all I got for you on a Monday. As always, if you're not subscribed to get the tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, links to all these, get over to the email. It's called 5minutesinrealestate.com, 5minutesinrealestate.com. Like I said earlier, I also want you to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Shane Willis, the Realtor. Also, get over your player choice. Hit subscribe so you get notified when I send these updated. We're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on all of them. Anyways, get over there and do that. And finally, if you found some value in this episode, or any other episode, one thing I always ask is that you share it on social media. Have a great Monday.